Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Origins. In this episode I'll be covering Kabuto and Kabutops, so we'll get started. Right, so let's get started with Kabuto. It is the shellfish Pokemon, it is number 140, is 0.5 meters tall or 1 foot 8 inches, and weighs 11.5 kilograms or 25.4 pounds. Kabuto is a fossil Pokemon that is resurrected from the Dome fossil, which can be found in several games including the original games, Fire and Leaf Green, and also Black 2 and White 2. If we first look at Kabuto's design, we can see it is a tan coloured shellfish with 2 black dots on top of its shell, which act as a second pair of eyes. It uses these eyes when it retreats back into its shell, so it can still see what's going on around it. Underneath the shell is mostly black but with 2 red eyes and 4 yellow tan coloured legs. Kabuto seems to be inspired by trilobites, which are extinct marine arthropods, and horseshoe crabs, which are arthropods that are currently considered living fossils. If we now look at some extra details, we can see there are no gender differences, and a shiny version of Kabuto has a green shell, which is, in my opinion, very strange, but it does look cool if you're into that sort of thing. Pokédex entries speak about it being regenerated from a fossil, but also that sometimes living fossils and examples of Kabuto have been found. And finally, looking at names, its Japanese name is the same as its English name, which is Kabuto, and we can see that it either derives from Kabuto Gani, which means horseshoe crab, or Kabuto, which is a helmet, or more specifically a helmet that a samurai uses. So it may be linked to its evolution, which we shall look at now. Right, so Kabutops. Same with Kabuto, its Japanese name is Kabutops as well. It is also the shellfish Pokemon, is number 141, and is 1.3 meters tall, or 4 foot 3 inches, and weighs 40.5 kilograms, or 89.3 pounds. A Kabuto will evolve into a Kabutops at level 40. Now, since evolving, Kabutops has gained some rather interesting features. It now has 2 long legs with 2 claws each on the bottom, going up since its small diddy legs as a Kabuto. It now also has 2 long sickles that extend from each of its arms, making it a very fierce looking Pokemon. It has 6 spikes running down its back, 3 either side, and its head is covered in a semicircle shaped helmet. It also has a brown tail. Inspiration wise, Kabutops seems to be based on Eurypterids, which are extinct arthropods which are related to arachnids, but not exactly the same. It may again also have been inspired by trilobites due to the helmet and the spikes. Looking at some extra details again, we can see, like Kabuto, there are no gender differences between Kabutops, and again the shiny version is bright green, again take from that what you will. And in the Pokédex entries, it's a bit freaky this actually, it says Kabutops drain their prey's fluids, so drink their blood basically. So we have a vampire fossil. It also says it's evolved to life on land due to its prey doing the same. And again, if we look at the name here, Kabuto obviously from helmet, and Kabuto Gani from horseshoe crab. The tops section, however, may be just related to the fact that the helmet is now at the top of its head rather than covering the whole body, or it may be a reference to Triops, which is another living fossil. Right, so let's just look at the size of these Pokemon here. As you can see, Kabuto is quite small, and Kabutops is a bit larger, but still not as tall as me. Oh well. Right, so yeah, there's sizes. Take from that what you will, really. Starting off in red and blue, obviously, or red Japanese and green for Kabuto. Its sprite looks like the majority of the Japanese and the green sprites. Very bad, but it looks like a Kabuto still. You can still recognise it. Red blue, we kind of get more of an overhead view, which we don't see in any of the other sprites at all. It looks a lot different. You don't actually see its underside, and its kind of legs look like they're attached to the shell rather than coming out underneath it in the rest of the sprites. Yellow looks like the Kabuto we are used to, with its eyes kind of just a bit too far back in the shell from the current ones. Gold and silver is pretty much yellow but jumping about with 1 or 2 changes, so That's the usual there. Crystal again is the same really. Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald, and obviously Fire and Leaf Green as well, all pretty much the same. Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver kind of give you more of an underside than the others, and so do Black, White, and Black 2 and White 2, more of an in the air approach, let's say. Now if you look at Kabutops' sprites, the green version, like Kabuto, looks very much like a Kabutops. You wouldn't really be able to not see it was one. Red and blue, it looks a lot like the ones we're used to at the current time. And yellow, it looks slightly different to red and blue, not like the current ones, but not as great. Gold, silver, and crystal, it's kind of more a battle pose, ready to swipe you with its arms. And ruby, sapphire, emerald, fire, and leaf green are again like gold, silver, crystal, but more of a looking left rather than directly at the camera. Diamond, pearl, and platinum are looking left again, but it's kind of like a static place. It's not really a battle move, it's just a strange way for it to stand. Heart Gold, Soul Silver is preparing for battle, it's ready to swipe at the nearest opportunity. And Black and White and Black 2 and White 2 is kind of, it's not a static pose and it's not a battle attack sort of, it's more of a intermediate, it's just stood there waiting to just rip its opponent.